Some major things are happening in crypto right now. One of the things that's happened is that Elon Musk changed Twitter to X. And on its own, that's not really a huge deal for crypto, right? But if you take a look over on his Twitter, he's changed his location to an XD, a little funny meme, or I guess emoji, but the D is the Dogecoin D. Sounds strange, but there's more going on. As you guys probably know, the guys that are behind OpenAI and ChatGPT, all that, they were launching another massive crypto project, and it was called Worldcoin. And now Vitalik Buterin, one of the co-founders of Ethereum, has outlined 4 major risks with Worldcoin following the token launch today. So yet again, it's not something I necessarily like, Worldcoin, but it launched today. You can see over on the right that it is also trending, together with this whole X situation. And of course, the majority of people have been texting me today. Why is XRP falling? And I'd say the answer is pretty simple. But before we dive into all of this and more, make sure you press that like button. You don't need to, but let's see how high those likes can get today. Anyway, so right now, the long story short about why XRP is falling, a lot of people have been asking me this, is because Bitcoin, for the first time in weeks, has broken down. And I should quickly add here that Bitcoin dropped about $700 in a minute. And a lot of the speculation is going towards that it was X. Twitter relaunching an X, and the idea that Elon Musk said, if done right, X would become half of the global financial system. Perhaps people are afraid that right now it's not going to be crypto, but X or something created by Elon Musk that's not crypto is going to overtake. And some others are saying, no, it's actually all China trouble because things are interesting over there. And some others have actually stated as well, what if X and XRP, because they're very close to one another, have some sort of connection? And they want to change the financial system through X and XRP. Is there connections? Uni said an interesting example where you can actually see a little bit of how the Bitcoin price has moved and how it usually moves. And as you can see from 5-minute crypto's analysis as well, right now Bitcoin has quote-unquote broken down below this $30,000-ish major support zone. And even Jimmy, one of my friends, just points out here just how low the Bitcoin price is going right now. And for that reason, since Bitcoin breaking down was always a possibility, but it's not that good for altcoins, especially in the market position that we're in, there's fear. And one of the coins that went up the most over the last couple of days, funny enough, the only one with clarity, my biggest holding right now, it's taking a little bit of a dump. I know, it's not a nice thing, but it makes a lot of sense, Bitcoin breaks down, one coin is up like double in about a week. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of fear with that coin because Bitcoin's breaking down. On a side note, Dogecoin is actually doing pretty well, obviously because of this whole Elon Musk X situation. It was pretty funny. The majority of people I spoke to thought that Dogecoin would actually surge absolutely crazily, but the price didn't really do too much. I mean, if you take a look at it right now, up 4%. Over on the last hour, up 2% or so. Before in the past, if Elon Musk were to do something like he did right now, the price would be up like 45% or something absolutely crazy. And it just shows the excitement with regards to crypto is just not here right now. Do I think it'll show up? Absolutely! And guys, as I said before, regardless of what you think about crypto, I personally think that you can deny price, you can deny anything in that field, but you cannot deny the adoption that's ever increasing. And I don't think there will be many people who say this was the last that we've seen of crypto. Because even if we break down right now, it is all a better opportunity to buy up more. And there comes my strategy yet again. A little while ago, I gave you guys a couple of altcoins that I think are pretty huge, right? But over time, I've described to you guys time and time again how to prepare for further dips. And that's because I still believe in the halving cycle. And I believe if you just follow the plan, which is a new all-time high in about a year from now, a year and a half maybe from now, if you just consistently buy the time it gets lower and lower and lower, and you do this with proper altcoins, proper coins, Bitcoin I'd say is proper, and right now XRP is properly regulated, so I don't think it can die out in any way, shape, or form. As long as you do that, you buy every single time it goes to a lower layer, I'd say it's pretty hard to lose because at some point it's going to be bouncing back up and you've got all those gains now. I mean, right now as we speak, we're also talking about crypto regulations on the forefront of Congress, the House, Senate, whatever. And perhaps that's adding a little bit of fuel to the fire as to why people are skeptical and bearish and why Bitcoin is breaking down on the short term. Again, it's not crazy, but it's a lower price than we've seen in a significant amount of time. Once more, this is the monthly chart for Bitcoin. As you can see, we've been ranging for such a tremendously long amount of time. The moment it broke down right now, people got a little bit fearful. However, it is also very much possible that this is all in anticipation of the FOMC meeting, which is coming out in about 2 days from now. On a side note, all things considered, it's actually pretty interesting to see the correlation difference right now, or I'd say the pretty much non-existent correlation right now between the S&P and Bitcoin, in the sense that before, very often in these bearish times, we saw a deep correlation. In the bullish times, we saw a deep correlation, even though obviously there was a multiplier for Bitcoin. But right now, the Nasdaq and S&P are surely not falling that much, but even over the month have actually mostly been trading upwards, where Bitcoin, again, throughout this entire month, has just been trading sideways, if not with a downward bias ever so slightly. So that's kind of peculiar. Potentially, you can call this an inverse correlation even, but I'd say Bitcoin's minimum moves here almost may be considered to be no correlation. But I guess it depends. Perhaps if we really start plotting it out, it's a literal inverse correlation. With the S&P potentially doing really good today, I guess we're going to have to see, and Bitcoin obviously breaking down. But I guess we can establish that as the day furthers. Even the Dow Jones here, you can see how things have been moving. And if you don't know what I mean with, it's just a really negative time for crypto like today. You can see if you type in the top gainers, the number 1 is Dogecoin. Wow. Number 2 is Trust Wallet. Wow. Number 3 is BitDAO, because they've had a massive swap a little while ago. And for the rest, nearly every single coin is basically at a negative, right? With the worst one being Sui at 9% down, Pepe at 9% down, XDC 9% down. But generally speaking, almost every single crypto just being down. And XDC was also one of our best gainers throughout the week. And you can see how it's also down the most right now. I'd say a similar thing happened to XRP, where it's down just up so much over a little bit of time that right now the correction also hits a little bit harder. And I'd say as well that if the market was in a more bullish position right now, that also this whole Dogecoin X type of debacle, which again is the new name for Twitter, you can see the logo has changed, right? There's no more Twitter logo here. It's an X now, which is kind of strange to realize, but that it would have also pumped it a significant amount more. Again, just my thoughts, not financial advice. And now we also got to talk a little bit about Worldcoin. Not sure if you guys are interested in it, but I'd say it's a pretty important thing. And I cover AI a lot on my different channel. If you didn't know, I have another channel which is mostly focused on AI. You can see here different AI things. Might be something that you like. Just I guess type it in Dusty Finance or the business realm and you'll find it. Might be something cool to look into. And for all that want, guys, there'll be a link down below to BitGet. It's a crypto exchange that I personally use. And basically right now you can get yourself a ton of different prizes. Accidentally pressed it. You can see a $100 voucher, or $100, I guess, in your account, $2,000 voucher, a MacBook, a couple other things. And all you have to do is just whatever one of these things you want to do, you get a different free spin, and you can use that to potentially gain some nice prizes. And over on Bybit, we're giving away $1,125 to open an XRP trade with for absolutely free. All you have to do is these things right here. It's actually just make an account, have a little bit of money in there, and boom, you get yourself $1,125 of a contract for free. But you need to KYC, meaning you need to properly verify yourself as a person, because Bybit is a completely regulated exchange. It might sound kind of strange, but BitGet, you can actually, I think, just use a VPN to trade and whatever. So that might be more appealing to some people, but hey, check it out. Anyway, with regards to the whole Worldcoin situation, I'd say there are not many people that are extremely excited about it that also adopt this privacy-first type of narrative, which means you don't want to share all your data with a company, and for that reason, they might not use Facebook or something like that. Vitalik Buterin shared 4 major risks in the biometric-based proof of personhood system used by Worldcoin. He pointed to privacy, accessibility, centralization, and security as the major risk associated with the proof of personhood construction, and proposed an alternative solution to mitigate against them in a blog post today. And apparently this proof of personhood is the system designed to authenticate the uniqueness of a user in a decentralized way without relying on a central authority or revealing personal information. Use cases include avoiding Sybil attacks by preventing multiple account creation, event tickets, airdrops, and DAO voting. Worldcoin users install an app and have their irises scanned by the device called the Orb. The Orb verifies the user's humanity and iris's uniqueness, creating an iris hash, and the process results in a unique world ID for each user, who can help them then prove their uniqueness without revealing their specific identity, ensuring privacy and security. So I don't think I need to go too deep into the risks here further on, because I think any of you are sensible to understand why this is a little bit of a strange idea. Anyway, Vitalik puts up some privacy concerns, even though the system currently only stores hashed versions of the iris scans, not the actual images, and aims to protect user identity with ZK snarks and other cryptographic techniques. there's an inherent risk of identity-related information being misused or leaked. Buterin said, at the very least, if someone else scans your iris, they can check it against the database to determine whether or not you have a world ID. Potentially, iris scans might reveal more information, he added. Yeah, and as I said, there's 1,001 different parts to this all. And also, we don't know the integrity of this orb that Worldcoin has created, the hardware device. Even if the software layer is decentralized, the Worldcoin Foundation has the potential to insert a backdoor and create fake human identities through this actual orb that they've got, right? The hardware. Worldcoin's governance and propriety algorithms are further centralizing concerns, though to Worldcoin's credit, they also have committed to decentralize over time. But he basically said yet again, phone hacking, coercion into scanning irises for someone else, selling or renting IDs and 3D printed fake people used to dupe the scan for world IDs. We're all risking. I think about this all the time. Guys, what is our world getting into, man? That right now, to, for example, be able to transact something, you need to scan your motherfucking iris. And the next criminal wave might be people stealing your freaking eyeballs or something. Or just forcing you to scan your freaking eyes. I mean, this is what you saw back in the day with these banking movies. And I guess you still have it with your biometric pieces like for your fingerprint, etc. Which is why I've never done a fingerprint on an iPhone or anything stupid like that. I personally just don't like, first of all, giving it out, but at the end of the day, I know your Apple devices are scanning your face anyway, even if you don't give them access. Unless you put a full-on cover over it, it will probably take another 5 years for Apple to figure out a way to make your camera go through any sort of blockage. So I have to like peel it out of my camera, or peel it out of my phone, I should say. But I still see the risks associated with all this, and I think a lot of you guys do too. It's a cool concept, though. The idea that they can make this crypto world so much more, quote-unquote, better because of proof of uniqueness, so to speak, or personhood. It's a cool concept. In the real reality world of things, I'm not so much for it. But in a similar sense, the whole idea of Neuralink, which, by the way, I told you guys before, had the opportunity to invest in really early, but I sat down with a little ethical conversation with myself of, do I think Neuralink is really the thing for the future? Well, it has two sides. I think it will really do a lot of good and really do a lot of bad, which all comes down to the question of, is your choice really your choice? But I'm kind of feeling those vibes here yet again as well of, is this a net positive or a net negative for what we are getting towards? Anyway, like I was also saying at the start, everything that's happening right now, all this downward pressure from our cryptocurrencies, even though the stock market is not showcasing it, perhaps, just perhaps, that might come later today. And the fear and the price movement towards the downside is stemming for the most part because of yet another interest rate hike. It could very well be so. That's what a lot of people have been speculating. Or perhaps it's just our initial move in Bitcoin is causing a lot of people to be a little bit more fearful with altcoins. And it's just a completely natural move, completely independent. It's also very much possible. But hey, that was it for today's little update. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. Make sure you put that notification bell on so you're notified every single time I drop another episode. And that's about it. See ya.